Most fanciers check the wing. They feel the muscle. They study the eye. But they forget one thing: behavior. And that is a big mistake. Because some pigeons look perfect in the hand, but they never win early top prizes. A pigeon can have the body of a winner, but not the behavior of one. In the previous steps, we checked balance, wing, muscle, and eye. Now we come to the final step: behavior. This is not something you judge from one photo. You must observe the pigeon in the loft, in the nesting box, after training, after stress, before an important race. Behavior is not checked in 1 second. Behavior is revealed over time. Top pigeons often behave differently, not always in an obvious way. They are not necessarily the loudest, the wildest, or the most aggressive birds in the loft. What sets them apart is their focus. They seem aware of everything around them. They react quickly to changes. They know their territory, recognize their partner, and understand exactly where they belong. There is purpose behind their actions. An experienced fancier from Belgium once remarked that the best pigeons rarely waste energy on unnecessary activity. They stay alert, but they remain in control. That is an important distinction. Top behavior is not chaos. Top behavior is controlled fire. Good behavior is not always dramatic. In fact, many winning pigeons appear surprisingly calm when you first observe them. The difference is that they are calm and alert at the same time. If you want to learn how good winning behavior looks, subscribe and follow this system step by step, because the real signs of a winner are often hidden. They know where they belong. They show a strong attachment to their nest box, their territory, and often their partner. You can see it in the way they react when another pigeon comes too close. They are aware of what is theirs, and they are willing to defend it. That motivation shows itself in many small ways. Winning pigeons often recover quickly after stress. After training or racing, they return to normal faster. They eat and drink readily. They stay engaged with their surroundings instead of sitting withdrawn or disconnected. They also react sharply to changes. A movement in the loft, a pigeon entering their space, a change around the nest box. They notice these things immediately. Most importantly, they do not waste energy. Their behavior feels focused and purposeful rather than nervous or chaotic. A good pigeon does not just sit in the loft. It shows that it belongs there. This is one of the most important parts of the entire system. Not every pigeon responds to motivation in the same way. You can change the nest position. You can show the partner before basketing. You can create jealousy. You can challenge the territory. And sometimes, nothing happens. The pigeon stays exactly the same. That tells you something valuable. The pigeon may have physical quality, but the motivational switch is difficult to activate. Now compare that to a pigeon that reacts immediately. The moment another bird approaches its box, it becomes alert. The moment the partner is shown, its behavior changes. It becomes more focused, more territorial, more intense. Those reactions matter. They reveal attachment, drive, and emotional investment in the loft. The pigeon is showing that it has something to protect or something it wants to return to. And that is the key idea. Behavior tells you how a pigeon can be motivated. If a pigeon shows jealousy, territory, attachment, or competitive drive, you can use those qualities. You can time the motivation correctly and increase the urgency to return home. That does not create a champion out of nothing. The physical quality still has to be there, but when the body is right and the behavior is responsive, motivation can make a real difference. It can sharpen the pigeon, increase focus, increase urgency, increase commitment to the return. And in many lofts, that extra edge is what turns quality into early top prizes. A perfect example of this behavior can often be seen with a cock on the nest. Imagine he is already sitting comfortably on his own eggs. His hen is breeding well. Everything is in order. Most pigeons would be satisfied with that situation. But then, something interesting happens. He leaves his own nest box and marches over to a neighboring box. He chases the occupants away, claims the space for himself, and settles down on their eggs as if it belongs to him. At first glance, it may seem like nuisance behavior, but experienced fanciers see something deeper. This is not random. It reveals territory, possession, confidence. drive. The pigeon is showing that it wants control over its environment. It is not simply reacting to what happens around it, it is actively trying to shape what happens around it. As one experienced Dutch fancier once observed, some pigeons are content with the space they have. Others constantly act as if they are responsible for the entire section of the loft. That difference matters. A pigeon that shows strong territorial behavior often has a powerful motivational trigger. It cares deeply about its position, its nest box, and what it considers its property. When that territory is challenged, the pigeon responds immediately. That response creates opportunity. That emotional investment creates urgency, and urgency creates focus. Some pigeons only sit in a nest box. Others act like they own the whole loft. Those are often the pigeons worth paying close attention to, not because territorial behavior guarantees victory, but because it reveals mental fire. And when physical quality is already present, that mental fire can become a powerful tool in the race basket. Another behavior worth paying close attention to is strong territorial attachment. Some pigeons become extremely attached to their own nest box or shelf. They know exactly where it is, and they make it clear that it belongs to them. They do not allow another cock near it without a reaction. Sometimes they will not even tolerate another hen entering the area. In certain cases, they become so protective that they challenge anything that comes too close, including the hand of the fancier. At first, this may seem like simple aggression, but experienced fanciers know it is often much more than that. It is a sign that the pigeon has invested itself in a specific place within the loft. A veteran Dutch fancier once remarked that some pigeons treat a nest box like a resting place, while others treat it like a castle. Those are two very different mindsets. The second type is often more interesting. These pigeons defend their place. They defend their partner. They defend what belongs to them. They are constantly aware of what is happening around their territory and react quickly when that territory is threatened. That creates a powerful reason to return home. The pigeon is not just racing back to the loft, it is racing back to something it values and wants to protect. A pigeon that strongly protects its territory often has a reason to return faster. When observing behavior, the goal is not to find the busiest pigeon in the loft. The goal is to find the pigeon with the right kind of energy. If you are serious about recognizing real winners, do not stop at the body. Subscribe and follow this system because behavior can explain why some pigeons win early top prizes and others never do. Now, let us talk about good behavior. Good behavior is usually calm but sharp. The pigeon remains aware of its surroundings and reacts when necessary. It shows attachment to its partner, its nest box, or its territory. It can be motivated. It recovers quickly after effort and carries itself with confidence. Most importantly, its energy is controlled. Everything it does seems purposeful. It does not waste movement. It does not panic. It does not overreact. The pigeon appears mentally strong and focused on what matters. An experienced Belgian fancier once observed that the best racers often looked as though they were saving themselves for something important. They were alert without being restless. Bad behavior looks very different. Some pigeons are nervous without control. Others show little attachment to anything in the loft. Motivation techniques produce no reaction. They appear passive, uninterested, or mentally disconnected. At the other extreme, some pigeons are so chaotic that they constantly burn energy. They stress easily, recover slowly after races, and struggle to regain their rhythm. Neither extreme is desirable. The winning pigeon usually sits somewhere in the middle, calm, focused, confident, ready to react when the moment arrives. Because bad behavior wastes energy before the race even begins. Early top prizes are not won by body quality alone. A pigeon needs the complete package: balance, wing, muscle, eye, and behavior. Each part contributes something important, but none of them work in isolation. The body gives the pigeon the tools, the wing provides efficiency, the muscle provides power, the eye helps confirm vitality and focus. But behavior decides how those tools are used. Now you know the full system: balance, wing, muscle, eye, behavior. This is how you stop guessing. This is how you start checking pigeons with structure. A real winner is built right, but it also behaves right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.